What's up, everyone? This is Candis Dyer with Canna Corner. We are broadcasted every Monday at 7 p.m. on Canna Corner, and you can catch the replay on WJAE 420 radio on Wednesdays at 2 and on KM 420 radio on Sundays at 2. If you want to catch us live, you have to download the relevant app. In some cases, we had to change up things a little bit, and I used to do this like every Monday live, but because we're dealing with some people who can't always make it on Monday, we're trying to make the show a way they can still participate. So this is what we came up with. Awesome, y'all. Today I got Garret Mullins on the show with 420 Minister. Hey, Garret.
How are you doing?
Doing great. You want to tell everybody about who you are and what you represent? And
how you doing? My name is Garret Mullins. I go by the 420 Minister. It was a name given to me ever since I got ordained as a minister in 2016. Someone called me the 420 Minister because I was a minister that smoked weed. So that's how it came with the name. I'm here to represent our church. Our church is called I Am's Foundation Church because God told Moses that I am sent you. And we are a Christian-based church, spiritual-based, that allows cannabis use within the church.
Heck yeah. I don't know. I know I've told you this before, but I grew up in a family of preachers. Like my grandpa was a Pentecostal preacher. My uncle was a Pentecostal preacher. My dad is a Pentecostal preacher. So I grew up with the Bible like my whole life. So I definitely support what you do, because that would be my main complaint with them, is that my family doesn't listen at the fact that this does help a lot of people. And the fact that you yourself teach that as a Christian, I give you major props, because I know it's not easy to do in your industry.
Well, just so you know, it's not just your family that's about it. It's a lot of these main Christians out there, especially we'll say the ones that who are way older or well seasoned or wisdom, we'll say. They're the ones who have gone, because they like to quote something out of Romans. They always say, hey, you have to follow the laws of the land. But we got to remember who wrote Romans. You know what I mean?
Right.
Romans was written by Paul. Paul was writing to the Roman Christians, because some Christians, you have to think, if you follow God, and even Jesus told us we had to renounce this world, even the people who are living in Rome would be like, hey, well, we shouldn't go with the Roman law, so we should still go with the Christian law. But Paul was like, hey, no, you still have to go with the Roman law, because you live within the laws of their lands. They protect you. All right. Because just because you're a Christian does not mean that you still can't get in trouble for what you do. All right. Even though like marijuana. All right. So with that being said, it's not against God. There's nothing against with God at all. It's even in the Bible. Cannabism's in it, called calamus, or it depends on what version you have in it. Cannabis has been with us since the very beginning, even before man was even created on this earth.
Right. Definitely. And I know that I have actually personally tried the anointing oil that you were just talking about. It's Canna Corner. Am I saying that right?
Cannabism, I would say it's like that. Don't quote me on it. I'm not an English major. I can barely write sentences myself or even talk English. But yeah, it's either cannabism. People either like fight you on it, but it's like tomato. But it's in our anointing oil. It's been there. It's in Exodus, if I'm not mistaken, at Exodus 30. Yes. Exodus 30, 22 through 30.
Let me find the exact one. I've got it written down right here. It is Exodus 30, 22 to 6. So yeah, you're right on.
All right. So what it says in there, when it's talking about the shekels there, it's back then the shekels was also money. The money was also weight along with the cannabis weight. So when you talk about the 500 shekels or how many, they use so much marijuana or cannabis within the anointing oil. People say it would be between 6 and 10 pounds. Wow. 6 and 10 pounds of weed that goes within it, into the olive oil, into the what was it, cinnamon sticks, if I'm not mistaken, and into, oh, there's one more thing that goes with it, myrrh. All
Myrrh.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, myrrh. So it goes all within it, and what it did, it infused it. And just so you know, it says if you keep reading on it, even though it says that ministers and the preachers were the only ones who actually used it to put a body on it, because that's how they actually spoke to God, they said. And
Right.
if you think about it, they didn't use pipes back then. They didn't have bongs, they didn't have things. So when they burnt the incense, they actually used tents.
Right.
The tent, it's like hot boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like pretty much the only thing they used to be able to get elevated and in touch with the Lord. That's the reason why there were tents there, and they enclosed themselves when they burnt it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so crazy that most, and I'm not going to say all Christians, because I know all Christians aren't like that. You're not like that. So a lot of Christians, I'll just say, I won't even say most, they're okay with you going to your doctor and being prescribed Oxycontin or morphine if your doctor tells you, you know, you need that for a certain ailment. But when it comes to medicating with cannabis for certain issues, I don't understand how they can't overcome. It's all made with plants. It's all been processed by pharmaceuticals and, you know what I mean, other things added to it. But cannabis is more natural than any of that. So
what it boils down to is that it's the laws of our land. People can get in trouble for it. We've been beaten. We've been scared about it. If people would uplift the laws, and a lot of times people would also think that when you have to be sober-minded, people are like, how can you be sober-minded? It messes with the mind. Sometimes we got to remember what sober means, because as a minister, people would not want me to twist Bible verses so for myself or to manipulate other people. So I tell people, please don't manipulate the word sober. Because if you look up the word sober, the definition of sober, it truly means to be away without alcohol. That's the reason why the people in AA, they say, hey, we are sober. The people who are in NA, who are on drugs and other things, which, you know, I don't really judge them, but they say clean, because the body purges out the dirty drugs different ways, but the body does not purge out cannabis. It doesn't purge out THC.
It
stores it. It's exactly. So for me to say it's our body, if our body intakes it, but pushed out all this other bad stuff, why wouldn't we have it illegal in the first place?
And then they also say God made us and God doesn't make any mistakes, right? Well, we are born with an endocannabinoid system that actually, like we were just talking, absorbs THC and all the cannabinoids that come with it. So, I mean, why would God put that in our body? And it also, I believe, is produced in a breast milk whenever we have a child, and we are building up their immunities for that first, you know, few months when they can't get vaccinated or whatever. They get the natural stuff from us, and we have cannabinoids in there already. So, I mean, that's another thing we could think about.
There's so much that we as people have to learn, like even like when it comes to religious things, like it's not just so you know, in the Bible, cannabism is not just in Exodus. There's other books of the Bible that is in there, like in the Song of Songs it talks about it, in Isaiah it talks about it, in Jeremiah it talks about it, even in Ezekiel it talks about it.
Do you know any of those right off the top of your head? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Song of Psalms is chapter 4, verse 8, I want to say. I don't know like the verses on top of my head like that, but I do have a Bible. I can look it up real quick, or if you want to, it's up to you. I'll look it up real quick. Songs of Psalms real quick. Songs of Songs. I bet some people even know that was a part of the Bible. Song of Psalms 4, chapter 4.
Yeah, that is one of my the main focus today that I wanted to make was trying to open the minds of some Christians that are really against cannabis. So I figured.
Found it.
Found it? Awesome.
I found it. I found it. All right. It's 8 through 14. All right. It says here, it says, come along with me, Lebanon, my bride. Come with me, Lebanon. Descend from the crest of Amana, from the top of the Sennar summit of Hermon, from the lion's den, and the mountain haunts of the leopard. You have stolen my heart, my sister, my bride. You have stolen my heart with one glance of your eyes, with one jewel of your necklace. It says, how delightful in your love, my sister bride. How much more pleasing is your love than wine, and fragrance of your perfume more than any spice. It said, your lip drips sweetness and honeycomb, my bride. It says, milk and honey are under your tongue, and the fragrance of your garment is like the fragrance of Lebanon. It says, you are the garden locked up, sister, my bride. You are a spring enclosed in Seal's fountain. Your plants of an orchard of pomegranates with choice of fruits of henna, nard, saffron, and calamus, and cinnamon with every kind of incense tree, with myrrh and aloes and all the finest spices. And it says, you
So
are
it
the
calls
garden.
it a fine spice right there,
Exactly.
not a poisonous, deadly plant. Devil's
No,
lettuce.
nothing. None of
And
that. None
isn't
of
that
that.
talking about the bride of the church?
Exactly, because it's saying that how it took away. Don't take it away. This is what it wants to have and keep it in its gardens.
Right.
There's like, and there's other ones too. Like there's so many other scrolls that people think that it's just in the seed bearing herbs or just in the anointing oil. It's not in just those two verses. There's
Right.
other books, and some people don't even know. You
That's
know,
awesome. I,
and
I
that's
didn't
what.
know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't, and that's where you have to, that's where as a minister, we go in depth of things. That's where you have to, Jesus even told us, whenever you want to know, you got to knock on the door. Doors will open, but you gotta knock. You gotta go in depth. You gotta do your research.
Right.
Can't let
Right.
other people just do the research for you. Just listen.
I know Paul is sending me a shirt, and that's what kind of got my mind on this subject with you. And I was like, heck yeah, I got him sending me this shirt, and I've got you coming on as a minister. So this is something, it was just kind of meant to be. Unfortunately, I can't show the shirt today because we get our mail delivered to my father-in-law's house, and I haven't been able to go pick it up yet.
No
But
worries.
I did put a picture of the shirt in the chat, and I will be showing it next week. And I just wanted to thank Paul Turner for bringing this subject to us and everything. I think it's a really neat thing. What
Yeah.
is it that 420 Minister Foundation does? Why did you get started? What did you want out of it?
Honestly, where it all started, I'll have to back it up years and years and years ago. Before I even became a minister, before my calling, I would call it, because honestly, I left my career pretty much to even do ministry. Like I can go back to my career and do it. And I make way more money climbing cell phone towers than I do coming here preaching on Saturdays and Sundays.
Right.
But I got arrested though. But when I was at my own place in Texas, when people would come over to my house, we would smoke weed. Not saying every time, every day we would whip the Bible out, not every day,
Right.
but we would sit around and talk about God and Jesus. We would literally talk, and that'd be like the only time that we would actually talk is when we're smoking weed, and we'd open our minds to different things. And next thing you know, someone just hit me and was like, "You become a minister and do this."
Right.
You need to do it. You need to open up a church that allows you to smoke weed in the church, and it opens up and talk. And the way you teach the word right, or teach it what it says. And so like the 420 Minister Foundation, it's like me on the side part of the church, because where people come to worship, that's the church part. The 420 Minister Foundation is a part of the church, it's underneath the church. That's what goes out into the community and does things.
Right.
All right. It's like every time the church raises $10,000, we'll donate $1,000. We give it to the community of whoever may need help within our community, because our goal is to open up 51 churches. We want to open up one church in every state. So each state has a church to go to. And the ultimate goal is to have number 51 in the Holy Lands, because honestly, Israel, they're working on their marijuana laws as well. So my goal as a minister would be me is be awesome and amazing to actually open up a church in the Holy Lands and
Right.
be part of it. Because like, to me, we are open, welcome. You don't have to smoke weed to be part of our church. We hear about the message. I'm not saying like all churches' messages are wrong, but they put their own little twist on it. You can go and Google whatever church religion, Methodist, Catholic, Baptist, whatever one you want to. You can Google it and say who was the founder. It'll show you it was a man who founded it. God was never founder of any of these holy religion denominations. So we don't put the twist. My thing is we have to break it back down. We have to start at the foundation where it all started. And the foundation is actually the 10 Commandments, where God actually gave the people of the flesh the 10 Commandments, saying, hey, you guys can't do this. But before they could even receive the 10 Commandments, they were already messing up. But hey, it's not their fault because they didn't have the 10 Commandments in their hands yet.
Right.
Some people won't see that, but who are they supposed to know? You know what I mean? Someone could have deceived them of worshiping a calf. I don't know. We didn't see all the little bits and details.
Right.
But the thing is, I let people know that if it doesn't go against the 10 Commandments, it's not a sin.
Right.
Right? Anything you have to think about though. It's not a sin. It goes on your morals then.
And see, that's my favorite thing to think. It's kind of what you say, because my favorite thing to say is it's all about love. Because if you're loving someone, you're not stealing from them. You're not murdering them. You're not lying to them. You're not cheating on them. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not disobeying any of those 10 commandments if you truly love someone. And so that's kind of how I live my life. Being Pat PK, I've seen a lot of and I want to say, it's not church that I don't like, it's the religion, it's the twist, it's the stand up, it's the it's the ritualistic, it's taking the relationship out of the church.
Exactly.
And that's what I don't like. And so I backed out of churches. I have caught your segment several times, but I just try to live my life on love everybody, do as Jesus would do, you know what I mean? And live as him a example of how you want to be. Like, I believe we kind of like make too much out of it at times.
Right. It's like, and you're right, because love does conquer all, and just like Jesus did. It's like Jesus even said to love your enemies. It's when Jesus, whenever, if you remember in the Bible, there is a man who was possessed. And he was chained, he broke chains, he ran away in the woods. But next thing you know, Jesus comes around and he goes, hey, he drives those demons out of them. Jesus could have slayed those demons right then and there, but those demons said, hey, Jesus, please don't kill us. Send us to the pigs. And what do you know? Jesus didn't kill them. He didn't smack them up. He even showed love. He showed the love and compassion. So he let them go to the pigs, even though the pigs went to the water and drowned, but doesn't mean that they drowned in spirit.
Right.
You know, so sometimes you got this. Love is everything. Love is amazing. Love conquers all. Love fulfills all. Oh.
For sure. For sure.
And that's what our church is about. It's about love. It's even tattooed on there with the one love on there.
Where are you located at the moment if people want to join you? I know you do it on the internet, and tell people about how to find you there too.
Well, if they want to join the church, just send me an email. They can send me an email at iamfoundationchurch.com. All the money that we make and donations that we get is helping open the building. Like right now, we have a little over 20-something thousand saved up. For the church, we're looking at opening up a building. We're looking at spots. So all the money that we get is opening up the church.
Right.
Within the state of Colorado, anytime someone donates $5 to the church, we give them a free gram of weed. That's how within the church. Guess what? When people come to the church, if they donate $5, they get a free gram, or they can bring their own.
Right.
It's within the church. And just so you know, just because you don't go to the physical location of the church, it's like right now, we don't have a physical location, but the money that we're saving up is going to the physical location.
Right.
But whenever we are in church and we do a digital, that is your church. Your home. Everyone's home is their church.
Yep.
No matter what,
We are
that is
the
your
church.
true church. Your house, no matter where you're at, your place of worship, that's your private place between you and God.
Yep.
Because behind these closed walls and behind closed doors, that's who you truly are as a person.
Yes.
That's your true relationship with God. That's you and your place. So when people are in their own home, in their own place, and doing their own worship time, guess what? That is their church. So even though they want to become a member of our church, and you don't have to smoke weed to be a member of the church. And that's so you know, when the non-weed smokers, when they donate to the church, when they donate $5, we're gonna give the homeless people that weed. The homeless people ain't gonna have to beg. Because guess what? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funded by the non-smokers. And as a minister, I'm gonna get paid minimum wage. Because if people out there can live off minimum wage, as a minister, I should be able to live off minimum wage. And if I want more money, I can go get more money, do some service, other people thing, or get another job or whatever it may be. But that's how all the ministers will be get paid over each church.
Right.
But we better set the standard and show the look. So
definitely. And so your hopes to open the church is going to be somewhere in the Colorado area, right?
The very first church, because I can't open up a second church somewhere in another state that we didn't open up.
Right.
So the first church is going to open up, and I guarantee the first church is going to open up the second church, and the first and second church is going to open up the third church, and 1, 2, 3 is going to open it up. It will grow like crazy. We have already been growing and growing. Like people, even, I'm not going to lie to you, even Satanists has even donated to our church because they even told me they need good vibes in their life. They see what I'm doing. They see actually things that I post up. A lot of people, it's funny because I do post up a lot on social media when it comes to like snaps and different things. People only see what they see, but they never see the behind the closed door what I'm really doing.
Right.
You know, they see some pothead dude smoking weed, doing this, doing that, having a jolly good time, but they don't really see all the hours and the takes and actually helping people. People coming about killing themselves, they need help with this way. I get pulled in so many directions, but I'm there for everyone the best I can at one at a time.
Well, I know that none of us are perfect, and I have known you for like 3.5 years now, almost 4 years.
Right.
And I can honestly say that you have been 100%. You know, you have been going hard at this since I've met you, and you have sticked with it, and I give you major props, dude. And I would recommend you to anybody that's looking for a church. You do a great job, and you know, yeah, you're behind closed doors. You are always in that minister role, like you help everybody you come in contact with.
I do it the best I can, you know what I mean? Because that's what you're supposed to do. Even if it takes time out of my day or anything else, or if something bad happens, I'm there for somebody. It's just like when I went to prison. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to be in there.
Right.
But I did my thing in prison. Like I have, I'll tell you this real quick. There's prison politics out there.
Right.
And when I was in there, me as a minister, I talked to everyone out here. I don't care what race you are.
Right.
But in prison, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah, my son actually was dealing with that, like, because he wouldn't do that. I'll only speak to white people thing in there, and it gives you a lot of problems.
It does. And next thing you know, my cellie was 5 Deuce neighborhood Crip, black guy. I spread it with him because he didn't have no money in his books. I gave him some food. We ate, we talked. But the white people didn't like that. And they started problems. I'm like, dude, I'm not under you. I'm not a wood. I'm not whatever else. I'm not that, bro. I'm solo dolo. I'm walking my own line. I talk to everybody as a minister. And one day, the Speaker of the House, who's over the woods, tried to like check me or whatever you want to call it. He told me to pull my pants up because I'm not black. He said that out loud in front of everybody. I said, bro, it's comfortable for me. Not gay or nothing's comfortable. It's how I want to wear my pants sometimes. So can't tell me what I do, but if you want to take it to the blue door, because I already know, I'll go there. And that means if we have to fight it out, I'll fight it. This is going to be stupid, but I'm down. You know, but next you know, the GDs who are called the Gangster Disciples, and they're not really, some could be Jesus like you would say, but the Gangster Disciple, don't let the name fool you. They're actually allies with the Crips. They're allies with the Crips. They actually spoke up for me and they said, hey, You don't mess with him. He's a minister. He's doing this. We've been watching him. He's no fool. He's not trying to cop, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they put me under their protection. It went to the church. They actually had a meeting with like Aryan Brotherhood, Aryan Circle. It got up to them because what happened is being Speaker House didn't get at, I don't know, prison. And the next thing you know, the Aryan Brotherhood said, dude, it's not worry about it. It's nothing. Don't even bother him. He's doing his thing. And next thing I didn't have to pay nobody or nothing. I was protecting the GDs and under the Crips because they're allies. And they said, hey, we got your back. And I had no problems ever since then.
Right.
I just did my thing and did my ministry. And even in prison, sometimes you got to do it. It didn't stop me. I wasn't mad at God or anything.
Right.
You know? But that's my little prison talk. And I went there for weed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta, and even the disciples, when they got put in prison, what did they do? They ministered to the people that were in there. They, had to keep their faith. And even though they were in prison, they knew they were there for a reason. And even if it was just one person's mind they needed to change, God will do that. God will put somebody in prison just to change one person because he loves them that much and he wants to give him that opportunity. You know what I mean? He wants to reach them. If that's where God's got to put that person to reach them, he will do that.
Exactly. And that's the reason why I wasn't like, it hurt my family and stuff. But to me, I just took my cards that were dealt with it and just took the best of it. So I always leaned on God, no matter through the good, thick, bad, or thin. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what you always have to. And he will never steer you wrong. It's just like I tell people, God he don't give us obstacles for us to not to go against him. Sometimes it's not always God. This is earth.
Right.
This is a place where Satan and God's here in play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's disease, there's sickness, there's everything here. It doesn't necessarily mean that God gave it to you.
Exactly. And some people are, hey, and they have to blame someone. All they can do is blame God. But sometimes we gotta remind ourselves it could be the other side, but we can't say it's the other side always, or sometimes it's just life.
Right.
Things happen, and that's what it is. And you just gotta make the best of it. And you only have one life. Like you say, no one can be perfect, but I do tell people they can live pure.
Right.
Because me as a minister, or anybody, because as a minister, I'm gonna tell you this, I'm not above nobody. I'm among you, because there are people who are better than me spiritually, and there's some people who need some help also, but guess what? I'm here to help them. But there's also people on the same level, but we're all working to attain the same goal.
Yes, we should strive to be pure, like you're saying. I guess what I meant by perfect was we all come from a past. Exactly. Like we all were people that fucked up and have now, trying to be better, trying to make up for what you did back then.
Exactly. And that's what all you can do is strive. And that's the reason why, honestly, I smoke weed as a minister, because what this does for me, when I smoke cannabis, cannabis, marijuana, whatever name you want to call it, and it's okay because there's different names. All right, but when I smoke it, what it does, it literally slows everything down for me. Not my motor skills. Don't get me wrong. I can still whip it. I can still run. I can do everything.
It's your mind. It races. Like it's thinking about 100 things all at once. And when you take that hit, it focuses you on what you're doing instead of thinking about 100 other things.
Exactly. So whenever I'm doing something, next you know, I ask myself, does it go against God? And if it doesn't go against God, the 10 Commandments as a minister, I'm like, all right, I can do it.
Right.
But then I figure out whatever else goes this way. You know what I mean? But that's the reason why, honestly, it slows things down and it makes me make better decisions. It makes me see things. It makes me, and I don't say I get blazed all day long throughout the day, smoking blunts here. No, I'll take a hit here, whatever. Meet up with someone, maybe take a hit there, maybe not. You know what I mean? Sometimes I even turn it down sometimes.
Right.
Just because I just don't want to. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay to say no. You don't have to. But I just stay elevated. I don't really say hi. Because guess what? Whenever all these other people who do, I'm not saying they're bad because I'm not going to lie. I have done. I put coke in my nose in my life. I have done things in my life. I've done other drugs in my life, so I don't judge people. All right, I'm just glad I didn't catch the addiction. I didn't jump on it. I'm just
Right.
glad I didn't get it. My dad died from it before. My family had died from it. I'm glad it didn't. I didn't get it. You know what I mean? It didn't jump on me,
Right.
and I'm blessed for that. So I tell people, like I understand. It's not that it's bad. It's okay. You just gotta get on their level with things.
Right.
And that's how
Yeah, we shouldn't judge people. Like, everybody does things for a reason. If you look at the worst person in the world and you look back into their family life and you see what they went through to make them what they are today, everybody has that. There's a reason for everything. And we just sometimes got to slow down, take a couple puffs of cannabis, and put ourselves in somebody else's shoes for a minute and
exactly.
say, don't judge them. There's a reason they are doing what they're doing. Try to help them through it.
Yeah. And it's not just with drugs, it's life. Everyone has a
Mhm.
problem. Everyone has a struggle. Like, even as a minister, I have problems in my life. I'm going through problems now. It's okay. But I'm here to say, hey, it doesn't matter through thick or thin, we're gonna get through, we're gonna live another day.
Right.
All right. That's the reason why I tell people you gotta have that patience. You gotta have that self-control. That's how you move mountains out the way. When
Definitely.
Jesus Christ said, hey, you can move mountains. When you have that self-control, that problem gets small
Yep.
because you find a solution. You get rid of that problem. But if you have that fits of rage like crazy and you make that problem get bigger and bigger, guess what?
Yep.
You're not going to find that solution. That's the reason why
Exactly.
you have that self-control. That's what it helps right here.
Yes. Yes.
Telling you.
Man, I'll tell you what, thank you so much for coming on. Was there anything else you wanted to go over today? I know we're going on an hour and I can talk to you like this forever, really. I didn't feel like it was 47 minutes, but
I do want to say a couple of things. We do have church on Saturdays and Sundays. Our Saturday service is called Spiritual Sesh. We preach outside the Bible because there's other books that didn't make it into the
right.
Bible. I just tell people that, guess what? If they made it into the Bible would be like, the Bible now is this thin right now.
Well, it's
Imagine.
also politics. Like, they took women out of the Bible. Like
Yeah, they do a
Mary
lot of things.
Magdalene and Mother Mary, they took them out because they were women and they didn't matter back then. So,
They matter. Oh, they matter.
oh, they did. They
Uh,
were a big part of, Jesus's whole. He always was with the sinners, the whores, the people who he was trying to teach them. He didn't need to go to
exactly.
the church and teach people. He went out into the world.
Yeah, where people wouldn't help them, where they were
Right.
casted away. And that's the reason why on Sunday we preach inside the Bible. So if you want to know the basics, the Bible, basics instructions before leaving Earth, come to Sunday service. But if you want to go more in depth, come into Saturday service to Spiritual Sesh. Blaze and Praise on Sunday, Spiritual Sesh on Saturday.
That's
And
awesome.
if you want to be exactly, so if you want to be a member, let me know. And remember, God made pot, and He loves you a lot.
Definitely, definitely. I do actually have your shirt still in my closet. I know you gave it to us for a giveaway, and we never got around to that.
All right, it's
I,
yours.
my plan was to do another giveaway. I figured maybe we could do something together and do another giveaway.
If you want to give it away, give it away. If you want to keep it, it's up to you.
Heck yeah.
It don't bother. I actually ran out. I'm trying to work on getting more here soon. I'm actually probably gonna do a jersey line here soon, and I'm gonna do another t-shirt run. But this can be the last t-shirt run I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a different logo.
Well, I really like the design and everything of your logo. I think that looks really slick and cool, and you did a good
Oh,
job.
design's not changed. Just the t-shirts are gonna change, but this is gonna be like the original where no one else can get them again. It's gonna
Right.
go in the vault. It's going in the vault. So we're gonna do one more line about it. People have been asking me to get t-shirts already, but I gotta see how many they need and then get extras on top of that. So
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much, Garret. One more time, where do they go to find you to go to church on Saturday and Sunday?
they can come check out the 420 Minister Foundation. They come on, sometimes they go on Instagram Live. I'm working on them. They go on the church webpage. Only when I go live, they can go to the church webpage. They can check out YouTube. You can check it everywhere, just about on Twitch. Just look up 420 Minister or the church at I Am Foundation. Either one, you'll find it. Or you can look at my personal page, Garret Mullins. I'm mine.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Garret. And I guess we'll go ahead and end this. I got a few other things I got to talk about. You can either go off or you can stay with me while I do it.
Listen.
Awesome. So one of the things was Damon Folker. I've been looking for this dude for like 2 weeks now, and I've messaged on YouTube, I've messaged on Facebook, and he never claimed his prize. So I need to get Brandy Steptoe her shirt, which she won this one, and I'm giving away this one right now. And I told y'all that I was going to do another drawing if I couldn't get a hold of him. So we're going to do that right now. So we can go ahead and get these shirts out. And Brandy Martinez won the KM420 shirt. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I know where Brandy is. I will ask her what her address is so I can send her that shirt. She's gonna love it because I know she didn't get to go to the concert, so I'm glad she got to win that. Well, heck yeah. And I know it sucks, you're all the way in Colorado, but we are doing tomorrow the marijuana march in DFW. And
Ooh.
oh my God, it's so much fun. If nobody's been, I've been the past couple years. It's just, man, there's at least 2,000 to 3,000 people that show up within that day, if not more. I mean, I can't possibly count, but they have amazing speakers and music. And then at 420, everybody goes from Burnett Park and walks to the courthouse, and they're lit up the whole way. Like there's hundreds of people walking down the street. Last time there were so many people smoking at the courthouse that the picture that was taken, you could see the big old plume of smoke coming from it. And there's cops lined on both sides of the road. So it's like crazy. If you ever want to be in Texas and feel what it's like for you to be free to smoke, this is the place and time to go and date. Normal puts it on. Heck yeah.
To come. I just may have to. I may have to look at my schedule.
Well, it's tomorrow, unfortunately, but I will for sure next time give you a longer or short or a longer notice on it next time. They have it every year. So but yeah, at 2 o'clock, they change the time again. 2 o'clock is the time that it starts. 4:20, everybody walks to the courthouse, and there's going to be a lot of speakers and everything. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, then you can definitely come to Burnett Park tomorrow between, I believe it's 2 to 9, and it's free. And there's vendors and all kinds of fun stuff to do. So definitely check it out. And that is what I needed to talk about. Well, thank you so much, Garret, for sticking with me till the end.
Anytime. I'll always take it to the end.
And if you ever want to come on, whenever you open your church and you want to let people know, come see me. We'll get you on the show.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. You have a great day, Garret.
You too. Bye.